Hello, kindred longevity lifestyle designers. This is Zach here with secretsoflongevity.com as well as martin-kilgour.com, and we've come to another part in the ongoing series on how to stop leaking Jing essence. And this particular episode I'm going to talk about sort of attitudes and sayings that are out there in society that, just as a factor of being engaged in society and everyday life, we tend to automatically take those on into our own belief systems, our own attitudes, and into our own speech patterns, and we use these. And if we're looking for optimal longevity and actually getting very nitpicky and sort of tying up and eliminating these Jing leakages, this is something that we need to address. So I refer to these as Deathist sayings or verbal habits that people get into. They're, metaphors that people use which are supposed to be funny, but really our unconscious mind and the superconscious mind, whatever terminology you choose to use to describe this, the aspect of ourself that is more automatic and less associated with our personality. It's just sort of like a storehouse for everything we accept into our being, and our habits and most of our daily life comes about as a result of this sort of automatic process that takes place. Whether it's the way we perceive ourselves in the world is an aspect of the subconscious mind, whether it's the way we move through the world in terms of our physical movements, the way we keep our surroundings, whether we're really messy or keep a tidier environment. But again, with the speech portion of this, that we learn speech throughout our lives by mimicking others, and we retain and incorporate the language aspects, and it gets stored somewhere in our mind-body unit, you could say. And along with the regular, necessary understanding of speech, just to be able to communicate, we inherit or take on all these sort of cultural mores, you could say, that are, help us fit in, and it makes a society unique. And you compare languages that are similar yet are in different regions of an area, and they have their own unique qualities to them. So when it comes to sayings, they exist everywhere, but if we look at truly the ones that are unhealthy that people get caught into using, these are the ones we want to address and eliminate. And you can eliminate them through just becoming more consciously aware of them. If it's not too deeply rooted in your being, just watching this video might make you go, aha, and you're going to catch yourself whenever you're thinking it or about to say it out loud, and you're just going to stop doing it and you're going to correct yourself. The other way to address this is to refer back to my previous video, which is how to create and use positive affirmations, and it starts at episode number 140. So you can just search my username, Secrets of Longevity, and then # or number sign 140, and you're going to get the start of that series, and it's 3 parts. And it describes a really effective way of using affirmations on a bead, using beads. You can do this before bed and waking up, and it really helps reprogram your subconscious to elicit a response that you choose to have. So whether it's letting go of and eliminating unhealthy habits or creating beneficial, positive new ones, it's a very effective practice and probably underutilized. And I believe the video doesn't even have, the first one's just barely made it past 100 views. So I think it's probably one of the most important video series I've done yet. Not everyone I know who's a subscriber to my channel has watched it yet. So yeah, basically these sayings that are unhealthy are anything to do with death. And this could be, I'll read off a few that I've collected here. There could definitely be more. You're going to recognize them as you get familiar with them. But anything that has to do with the word kill, or I died laughing at some joke. These are all references we do, or some people do, as a metaphor to a situation, or they say it in context that it's appropriate. So, I died laughing, I made a killing with this business deal, or I made a killing working this job. Another one is, yeah, you're killing me with laughter. For some reason, laughing and comedy gets associated with this aspect of dying quite frequently, even though laughing is a very enlivening thing to engage in. So that's something to bring your awareness to. Another one is just the term "that's killer," as if it's saying that's awesome or that's great. These are sort of slang terms that people use. those are killer ribs. You see that written on a sign, and yes, they might be killer in the sense that they could be slowly killing you if you're eating them, but they're trying to advertise that and make that an attractive quality, and some people are attracted to that if they're deathist. So if we're becoming lifeists or vibrant immortalists, we want to let go of these sayings in our vocabulary. Another one is, I'm feeling dead tired. So, you never want to feel dead tired. You want to feel, it's time to be tired, so I'm going to rest, and then when I get up, I'm going to be able to live just as I was living while I was asleep. It was just a state of being asleep. Now, another one is, life's too short, so do blah 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 blah. You see this sometimes in advertisements. People say life's too short, and people use it as an excuse to engage in unhealthy behavior. So life's too short, eat lots of candy, or eat ice cream. That's, your conventional store-bought, processed, toxic ice cream. And yes, if you're going to be engaging that, you're shortening your lifespan. So really, life isn't short. It's vastly long. It's all about perception. We need to start becoming aware of these things in our lives when we start to use these words. Even in the raw food community, I've seen people refer to raw food recipes as killer. And it's like, really? Is it going to kill me if I eat it? And yes, it's slang, and they don't literally mean that, but your subconscious mind doesn't get slang, and doesn't get humor in that way. So we got to be careful in the way that we're using these terms, and quite literally, when people are using that, it's showing there's an issue, and their conscious mind and their unconscious mind aren't totally in alignment in terms of what it is they're trying to convey. So the reason that this would be something that leaks Jing, when we are continually engaging in, or even just sporadically engaging in these sayings or these slang terms, it's reprogramming or continuing a program that's in our being that is not serving our longevity, because it's bringing in the energy or the awareness or the feeling of death. So if you're wanting a long life, you shouldn't be bringing in that energy into your life. If we can say, a physical food is going to shorten your lifespan, you can just as easily understand, I hope, that a saying or a mind construct is going to have the same effect. And this is because our being is all these aspects of ourselves. People label it as the mind, spirit, body, emotions, etc. But really, we're just one big unit. It's all connected. There's no separation. So by addressing, our thoughts, our intake of food, our speech, and all these different aspects, we want to start to hone and purify them to a degree. And in the long run, this releases you from the negative associations that are connected with these terms that you integrate into your being every time it comes into your awareness and you're accepting of it. So as you start becoming aware of this, and it comes up into your mind to say this, the best thing to do is not get cringe and go like, oh no, I'm thinking that thing. It's more like, you just recognize that you're saying it, and you might repeat back to yourself a positive opposite to it. So if you're about to say, oh, that's killer, you just stop yourself. Maybe you have said it, and you repeat in your mind, that's life-giving, that's life-giving, that's life-giving. You just sort of negate it with the positive. You're not trying to focus on the negative and trying to get rid of it. You're just overpowering it with the positive opposite. And this way, you're moving your whole being and your Jing essence to greater harmony and balance, and having that idea of limitless life potential, and not sort of obsessing about death and decay and destruction.